But D. Anderson and the Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. If they hand this off right side for Roland, they convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Pass past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. The UFL Week 1 continues with Game of the Week, potentially. The rivalry renewed between the Battlehawks and the Defenders begins here momentarily. This should be a fun one. First off, it's in St. Louis. The St. Louis fans at the Dome at America's Center always fill out that stadium. It should be a great atmosphere for this game. Secondly, this was the XFL Conference Championship game last year, and these two teams hate each other after the 4+ years of rivalry that has been built between these two. So this is setting up to be a really good game. The one issue is star receiver for the Battlehawks, Akeem Butler, is going to be out for this game. The season hasn't even properly started yet for the Battlehawks, and they're already right back to their injured ways. It sucks to see, but hopefully Butler is back soon, and hopefully the Battlehawks can still put up a fight even without him. Still have a ton of other very key pieces to that receiver room that we have come accustomed to the past few years. Brandon Silvers making his first ever start in the UFL today as well, going against the DC team that won the championship last year, retained a ton of pieces from that championship roster, including the coaching staff. So the Defenders, I'm pretty confident in what their style of play is going to be. The Battlehawks going to be a new look team for the first time in quite a while without Anthony Beck being the head coach. So this should be interesting nonetheless. UFL last night had a good opening day. Louisville really showed out. Now it's St. Louis's turn to showcase why they have been one of the best fan bases in this league since the XFL 2.0 back in 2019 or 2020. So they did this. This is the chance. If St. Louis getting an upset on opening day would be a fun watch because it means it is a fantastic game. I do expect DC to kind of be in control of this game. They've kind of been one of those few teams that have not been affected by how loud St. Louis can be. But we shall see as this game progresses and how this game goes. New year, new things all around. DC is going to be playing without Chris Rowland, as he is on, I believe, Houston this year. So that's a very key piece of their team that they had last year that's not going to be there this year. But I don't think it will affect them all too much. We have kickoff moments away, as the broadcast is showing highlights from that conference championship game last year, as well as just the great season Jordan Ta'amu had throughout all of last year. He arguably got snubbed for MVP. Bryce Perkins also had a fantastic season, though. Jordan Ta'amu did win championship game MVP, so there's that to it. As he's warming up on the field, and we'll see these. I kind of want to see the defenders first in action. We saw Louisville first offensively last night, and Louisville's offense showed promise throughout the entire game last night. Just a few mistakes here and there cost them it. But still, it was a game that Louisville was very much in it. It was a competitive game. It's what you want from these earlier games in the season. We'll see if that continues in this one. I expect it to, especially because of the defense of both sides. But we shall see. We have Defensive Player of the Year, Pita Tamupenu, back in action for the Battlehawks. Those helmets are not as bad as people are making them out to be for St. Louis. Yeah, the wings did shrink a little bit, but they still look solid. No, the over-under is 44.5 for this game. No shot. I mean, maybe DC could put up like 20-something, but similar to last night being on the lower scoring side, I expect this to be a lower scoring game, but still one that is entertaining. Again, but the big thing is I'm expecting some scuffles, and I'm expecting some hate between these two teams, and that should make this game have a little bit more fun to it. But we shall see. Kickoff moments away. This is the first of 2 games we'll be live with today. The second one is at 4 p.m. EST between the Gamblers and the Renegades. That should be a fun one as well. But we shall see. We shall see. This game is on ESPN. The last night's game was on Fox. Fox did a pretty good job with that broadcast. I've always liked ESPN's broadcast for the UFL and for spring football, so I'm expecting this one to be solid also. And similar to last night, I have a headset off to the side so I can listen in case we have challenges or we have penalties being explained to us by... Gameplay D knows the Fox one. It's not Gene Steratore. I forget who. Mike Piera. I think it's the ESPN rule analyst. We'll see. We didn't get any glimpse at the replay center last night. Kind of disappointed in that. This is also the game I expect the most to have a potential 4-point field goal in because of DC kicker Matt McCrane. He has been very consistent in the UFL the past few years. He has a leg on him. He was able to hit from 60 plus during training camp. So I do expect DC to get their shot at it, as the Battlehawks will get the ball first, and kickoff is underway. Going to be returned beginning from roughly the 5. Spaced out past the 15, past the 20, 25, and brought down right around the 30, maybe the 31. So Brandon Silvers will be taking the field, getting his first start in the UFL. Was with the Battlehawks last year. Someone that he knows this environment well. I expect him to be able to play decently well in this, but time will tell with how well he really can be getting his first bit of action in the league. So I do like that they're riding with Silvers a bit more. They do have some other guys on that QB room that could definitely perform as well. Silvers in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on their own 31. First play of the game for the Battlehawks. Silvers to throw, pass right side is dropped. Not bad. Definitely, he had Frank Darby open on that right side. Just couldn't hang on to it. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Hell yeah. Yeah, the plan is to go live with pretty much every single UFL game. There's one I know I'm missing, which is going to be the Storm and Stallions on April 18th. But besides that, the plan is to go live with all of them. As they just showed AJ Smith on the sideline, the OC for St. Louis. Again, his work with San Antonio 2 years ago was great. I expect similar work here with St. Louis. Silvers and shotgun, going to hand this off up the middle, and that's a gain of roughly 3 or 4 for Jarvion Howard. I expect some hiccups early on, like you see most of these teams have. But St. Louis's offense is one that, as the season progresses, they could be night and day difference compared to what they were last year. Like, they could be a insanely powerful offense if they could just stay healthy and get into a rhythm early. Silvers and shotgun back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. Ball on roughly their own 34. Silvers looking to throw, has some time, pass left side, gonna be dropped again. Rough one there. It's Blake Jackson, the intended target. He had the first, but 2 pass attempts for Brandon Silvers. Both are on target, both were dropped, and the Battlehawks will go 3 and out to begin this game. That's not a great sign. All right. So it took us an entire half a play last night to see a punt between the Stallions and the Kings. We're going to get one on the opening drive in this one. Punt comes off clean. Solid punt, going to be returned beginning from the 17, space out past the 20 and down to the 23. All right, so now we get to see Jordan Ta'amu in this DC offense for the first time. This should be fun. This DC offense, I'm expecting good things from. Like, right off the bat, good things. Yeah, also, again, Ta'amu had very good reasons to win MVP last year. Just barely got beat out by Bryce Perkins. This is his year to win it. Ball on their own 23. Ta'amu and shotgun back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. First play of the game for the defenders. Ta'amu making adjustments at the line. Ta'amu going to hand this off up the middle, trying to find space. They're going to lose about a yard. I believe that was... I didn't quite get the jersey. I think that's Deion Jackson on the carry. Already 1 play in, we're seeing the benefit of DC running things back with most of their roster. Ta'amu having the ability to make changes at the line. We didn't see that at all last night. That's going to be one massive bit of advantage DC has. Ta'amu and shotgun back to his right, looking to throw in second down. Has time, pass deep, left side, gonna be caught along the sideline by Ty Scott. What a catch through the traffic. God damn. That ball is placed absolutely perfectly. Holy. Ta'amu going to hand this off up the middle. Going to get a gain of roughly 3 up to the Battlehawk 45s. Deion Jackson on the carry. What a throw to begin this game for Jordan Ta'amu. And with the defenders pass in midfield, they are not allowed to punt on this drive. So now it's going to be field goal or bust. Or field goal touchdown or bust. Ta'amu going to hand this off left side for Jackson once again. Has space to get past the 40 and brought down near the Battlehawk 38. Should be enough for the first. I love the aggressiveness on the first pass attempt. I love it. We saw that quite a bit last night with Louisville, especially in the second half, that they were really aggressive through the air. It worked to a degree. DC is a team that could definitely capitalize off of it a lot easier. Just because they have the chemistry there plenty. Ta'amu and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Shift in the back to his left. Going to play action and look to throw. Pump faking, trying to buy some time now. Rolling right, and he is sacked. It's the defensive player of the year from last year, Pita Tamupenu on the sack. And second and long coming up for DC. Trying the RPO, and St. Louis read it well. Yeah, just no chance for that. Tamupenu blew past that right tackle. Alright, so 2nd and 15 coming up. Yep. Already, this has more... It is a different pace of action than last night's game. It's great. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. Going to give this to Deion Jackson once again. Makes one man miss. They're going to get past the 40. Back to the 38. The initial line of scrimmage. So a 3rd and 10 coming up for the defenders. I just realized something I forgot to do before stream. All right, Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. Tiamu looking to throw in 3rd and 10. Pressure coming and sacked. Back at the 42. Didn't stand a chance there. Pressure came quick. It's Damon Harris on the sack. And a 4th and long coming up for DC. UFL is back and it's beautiful. Yeah, just that right side of the DC offensive line is going to be something to watch throughout the day. Already 2 sacks from that right side. So out comes Matt McCrane. It is a 60-yard kick. Ball is centered. Kick is up. It has the accuracy. It is good. The first 4-point field goal of the season belongs to DC. I knew for certain it was going to come in this game. Did not expect it to be this quickly. But we have 4 points on the board. Absolutely drilled it from 60 yards out. Beautiful. And we're going to head to commercial break with that. Beautiful. I love that this is the this is the perfect game to start that with. Absolute perfection. Again, it was gonna happen at some point this week. Someone was gonna attempt a 4-point field goal. For it to be DC right off the bat, magical. And again, of all the kickers to do it, Matt McCrane was the easiest to bet on to making a 4-point field goal at some point. All right, now we'll see how the Battlehawks respond. All right, with that having been made, time to see what the Battlehawks kicker can do. What was his college long? I did not expect. Obviously, I think the UFL themselves didn't expect 4-point field goals to be things you do in the first drive of the game for your offense. But I mean, hey, you get those 4 points. It's a much different game, and how they have to be played from there on out. Go to Zoo's website for this. Okay, so Tucker McCain, the Battlehawks kicker, has a career long of 60 yards, but that was, I believe, in high school. His career long at Missouri was 52. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, it was a junior in high school when he hit from 60. So I don't expect St. Louis to be going for that, going for a 60-plus yarder, unless it is end of half situation. As we're just coming back from commercial break, we'll see this St. Louis offense once again. It went 3 and out on the opening drive with 2 drops from receivers. We'll see how this second drive goes. 9:08 to play in the first quarter. That is, seeing the score 4-0 is. I thought last night was a perfect first game of the season. It coming down to the wire like it did was great, and it had a ton of action. So far in this one, I'm loving it. Kickoff return beginning from the 8, space out past the 25, past the 30, 35 past the 40, and brought down near the 42. Great return for St. Louis as they're trying to not even necessarily even this game up, but trying to take the lead for the first time. This is the game where, as it goes throughout, I'm expecting some hate between these two. But the fact that the first points of this game was a 4-point field goal is beautiful. Silvers and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Jarvion Howard, and that's a gain of roughly 2. All right, I'm not surprised that Howard is the main back. Also, they're interviewing Matt McCrane. Give me a sec. I love that they interview guys on the sideline right after plays like that. Silvers and shotgun back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. 2nd and 8. Silvers looking to throw. Has time, dump off right side for Howard. Gonna have space to get past midfield to the defender 49-yard line. So punting is off the table now for the Battlehawks. Hell yeah. Matt McCrane is so easy to root for. He of all the kickers to go from UFL to NFL, he is one that you would have thought would have gotten the NFL opportunity a lot sooner than what he has. The fact that he's still mainly a UFL kicker is insane. He has the talent to be on an NFL roster. He's not been given the opportunity yet. All right, before this 3rd and 2 play, the Battlehawks will call their first timeout. They're not going to get that snap off in time. So 7:49 to play in the first. Battlehawks already down to 2 timeouts. Yeah, not surprised that it's a bit sluggish with this offense to begin things. We go to a commercial break. I still just can't believe the score is 4-0 right now. That is such a weird score to see. It's great. It's great though. Yeah. All right. At commercial break after the Battlehawks kind of called a timeout before for 3rd and 2. Again, they're on the defender 49-yard line. So essentially, they're in a spot of they're in 4-down territory because they can't punt anymore. It's a 4th. It would be a 4th and short situation. They're in a spot of get the first here or get it on 4th. So essentially, they have 2 plays, so you can call this 3rd down a bit differently. This is where AJ Smith. I'm excited to see how he calls this because he is a well-respected offensive coordinator in this league for what he was able to do with San Antonio in 2024. So we'll see what he draws up here when we get back from commercial break. All right. Still at commercial break. Again, St. Louis is going to be an uphill battle this year. They have talent on that roster. It's just injuries going to be the question. Similar to years past, where injuries just decimated them by the time the playoffs rolled around. All right, just getting back from commercial break. All right, 3rd and 2 for St. Louis. Silver's in shotgun. Back behind him, going to look to throw. Rolling right. Dump off right side. Can he be caught for the first? Past the 45 and down to the 43. Jarvion Howard on the reception. And the Battlehawks move the chains. I love that the UFL is back, but man, noon kickoffs. I'll never get used to them. Silver's in shotgun, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has time, pass left side is incomplete. Good coverage there. Silvers was looking for Stephen McBride on that left side. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Seven minutes to play in the first quarter. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Looking to throw once again. Quick pass left side is well high and incomplete. Going back to McBride on that left side, so 3rd and 10 coming up. All right. I mean, Silvers doesn't have the greatest completion percentage today, but 2 of those were drops. The other 2 were bad passes. So it's, you take it as you will. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. 3rd and 10 from the 43. Silver's going to hand this off up the middle. Has some space, going to get to about the 40. So a gain of 3 is 4th and 7. Kevon Latulis on the carry. Probably should have been blown up in the backfield, but he was able to escape and just create something out of nothing there. And they're going to send out the field goal unit. All right, so Tucker McCain, former Missouri kicker, on for the long field goal try to make this a 1-point game. This will be from 58 yards out. McCain's college long was 52. His career long, dating back to high school, was 60. So he can hit this. Still going to be a tough one, though. From the left hash, 58 yards out to make it a 1-point game. Kick is up. It's on line, and it is right down the middle. That was good from 60 plus. All right, hey, a kicker duel where there's 4-point field goals, I'm here for it. That was a great kick from McCain. All right, he has a lot more leg on him than I thought you did. And that brings us to a commercial break. Seeing the score of 4-3 in a football game is magical. It is something. All right, at commercial break. At commercial break. All right, we'll see the DC offense for the second time. They're able to move the ball decently well on the opening drive. Eventually stalled out thanks to just that right side of the offensive line. But it's so it is funny to see that, like, oh, the defenders got sacked on 3rd down and they get rewarded for it by getting an extra point, compared to the Battlehawks moving like on 3rd and 10 from within the 60+ yard range, getting a few yards and then getting deducted a point. That's the thing that's like funny to truly think about, like the logistics of it. But if you just like ignore logic and just purely go based off of feel, it is amazing. And that's also where strategy comes in. Add commercial break. Add commercial break. Yeah, these noon kicks. By the end of the season, I'll get somewhat used to them, but yeah, no. Yeah. All right, 5:38 to play in the first. They're interviewing Shannon Harris along the sideline there. The coach of the year last year in the UFL. His story last year was fantastic. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 7, face out past the 20-25, past the 30, and going to fight his way to about the 34. That kick bounced at the 20-yard line of the landing zone. Was kicked pretty well, just still was able to get a good return out of it. So back out is Jordan Teamu. What does he got on the second drive? Teamu in shotgun, back to his left. A tight end lined up in the backfield to his left as well. Ball on their own 34. Gonna hand this off for Deion Jackson up the middle. And the ball comes loose. It's a fumble, and the Battlehawks have it. Right where the line of scrimmage was. The St. Louis defense coming in big on the opening play of the drive. And that's a momentum shifter. Okay. We got action now. How did does he go down first? When does that ball come loose? They are reviewing it. There's Mike Piero. Okay. All right, Mike Piero stepping in. They are going to reverse it. It'll be 2nd and 8 for DC. Yeah, they're saying his elbow touched. Yeah. Yeah, his elbow touched. Okay. So nearly a great momentum shifter, but DC will retain possession. All right, so 2nd and 8. Teamu in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on their own 36. Teamu making adjustments at the line, and there's movement up front. False start against the defenders. Now going to be a 2nd and 13. All right. So 2nd and 13 coming up. Yamu in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side, looking to throw. Quick pass over the middle is caught with space. Up past midfield, and down to about the 45. It is Mason Fairchild on the grab. There's a quick hitter up the middle. St. Louis just left the middle abandoned. I don't know what that defense was. Yamu looking to throw quickly on 1st and 10. Pass right side, going to be inside the 40 to about the 37. It is Seth Williams on the grab. 4:20 to play in the first. All right, Tamu and shotgun, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. They're going up tempo. Tamu handoff left side. There's space for Deion Jackson to pick up the first. He gets down to about the 31. All right, I like that they're going up tempo. Tamu and shotgun, play action looking to throw. Rolling right, passing right, going to be caught for the first once again. It's inside the 20 to about the 19. It is Cornell Powell on the grab. No, it's Ty Scott on the grab. My bad. So 1st and 10 for DC. They are moving quickly on this drive. Tamu and shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. They're staying ball on the 20 just about. The give to Deion Jackson up the middle, going to be a gain of roughly 3. And so after the initial perceived fumble on the first play of the drive, and then the false start right after, DC has just been going up tempo, going quick, moving the ball well down the field. It's been easy for them. 3 minutes to play in the first. Tamu and shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw once again. Tamu trying to buy time, looking to step up, but sacked. Back at the 25, it's Pita Tamu Penu. His 2nd of the game already. And 3rd and long coming up. They tried running mesh. But that right side of the offensive line for DC, that's the 3rd sack they've given up already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. Could be a long game for Jordan Ta'amu. So 3rd and 16, Ta'amu and shotgun, back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw once again. Has some time, pass right side, it's there, inside the 5 and down to the 1. Seth Williams finds a hole in the defense and his 1st and goal DC. They gave him just enough time to let that play develop, and somehow it's there. They gave to Deion Jackson up the middle, going to be just short. Gets about half a yard. So 2nd and goal coming up. 3rd and 16, and you're giving it up like that. We saw quite a few 3rd and long conversions last night. Just continuing it into this morning. All right, 2nd and goal. Ta'amu and shotgun, back behind him, 2 tight ends to each side. The give left side for Deion Jackson, and he walks it in, but there's a penalty. Untouched, walked it in for 6. What's the penalty? It's offsides against St. Louis. That's a defender's touchdown, as the penalty will be declined. They extend this to a 7-point lead pending the extra point or whatever conversion they decide to do. Yeah, untouched, walking in. Even had a lead blocker that was untouched there. All right, so they're gonna go for 2. Ta'amu under center, back behind them. 3 receiving options to the right. Play action looking to throw. Ta'amu rolling right, buying time. Still looking, pass, end zone is incomplete. It will remain a 7-point game, looking for Seth Williams in the back corner of the end zone. But this one remains at 7. All right, a minute 17 to play in the first. And just like that, this is back to a regular looking score. thanks to a touchdown and a 4-point field goal. All right. A minute 17 to go. Hey, what's up, Botflash? How you doing? It's been a fun game so far. Not even through the first quarter, and both teams are on full display. I don't blame you for missing it. It was on the opening drive for DC. So we were less than 6 minutes into the game when it happened. I was not expecting to be that quickly. All right, kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 7. Base out past the 20, past the 25. Gets past the 30. Fights his way to about the 34, maybe 35 yard line. Man, this game went from the most unfootball looking score to the most football possible score. It's just something. All right, Silver's in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Handoff up the middle, and that's Jarvion Howard for a yard, maybe. Right, 1 more play minimum needed before the end of the first. Second and 9 coming up. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion, right to left. Silver's looking to throw. Has some time, trying to step up, and is sacked. Back at the 29. The first sack of the game for DC. And it comes right at the end of the first quarter. It is Devonshaw Maxwell getting the sack. Just barely. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. 15 minutes in the books. We have a 7-point game from St. Louis. And what has been a pretty standard DC St. Louis rivalry game up to this point. I mean, again, Jacob Sailors is signed with the Detroit Lions, so he can't be in the league this year, sadly. He is at the game because he was the captain for the coin toss. That was a nice touch. But like, I mean, it's a running back room that's pretty much the same from last year. You have Jarvion Howard and Kevon Latulis. The receiver room is still pretty much the same, including the fact that you can't stop getting injured in that room despite the season having just started, as Akeem Butler was placed on the inactive list before this game. Like it's a different St. Louis team, yet it's the same in other ways. Yeah, I think that's just it. I think it's just age. And it's age and how much he kept getting banged up over the past 2 years. Because like his first year in spring football, he was unstoppable, and then since then, it's just been it keeps catching up to him, which sucks. 'Cause he's a fun player to watch, but yeah, at this point, it would be interesting to see how much more he has in him. All right, at commercial break for the end of the first quarter. At commercial break. Going to be a 3rd and long for St. Louis when we get back from break. All right. At commercial break. Should be coming out of it here soon. There we go. All right, back from commercial break. They're showing that 3rd and 16 that DC converted on the previous drive. And yeah, they're just miscommunication on the back end for St. Louis. Which like you can't have in that kind of moment. You have guys near there. It's just tough break. All right, so 3rd and 16 for the Battlehawks. Estiamu is warming up on the sideline, ready to get back into action. Ball on their own 30. Silver's in shotgun. Back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion, left to right. Silver's looking to throw. Pressure comes quick. Dump off left side for a halfback screen. Goes absolutely nowhere. Loses about 5. Did not stand a single chance. It's Joe Wallace and Bryce Thompson combining for the tackle for loss. And it's another 3 and out for this St. Louis offense. They've had 2 3 and outs and a 58-yard field goal. That has been their game so far. Just tough. All right. Punt barely comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 28. Face up past the 30 to the 34. And nearly got to the 35. So on the opening drive, there was 2 drops from St. Louis that would have extended the drive. That was unfortunate there. On that drive, it's really the sack that put him in a tough spot. But that's that DC defense. This is the DC defense that you know what to expect because most of it's the same pieces, and you know how good it is. Yeah, Jordan Teamu. In shotgun, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on their own 34. Teamu going to play action, pass right side. Can he be caught with space? Up past the 35. Breaks off 1 defender. Can be brought down shortly thereafter. Up to the 36 for Brilly Moore. So 2nd and 8 coming up. Going to be one of those games. Same, and I love it. That is the most Big Ten West score you could find, and I don't even think it's happened in the Big Ten West. As there is a Battlehawks still to get up after the play. It is Cameron Kelly, their starting strong safety, who's been pretty reliable for them in years past. He's still to get up afterwards. We're going to head to a commercial break for injury timeout. Yeah, a game being 4-3 or even 4-0 is so funny to see. But that's also just like perfectly sums up what the league is going for. Yeah, it's the most Iowa Northwestern game you could probably think of. And what's even funny about that is Iowa would have like 200 yards of offense and be the team with 3 points. Like it's man, but it's great because like there is a real possibility that that 1 point is gonna make a difference. I mean, because of it, it's a 7 point game instead of a 6 point game. So like it's gonna cause for some weird looking scores, but it's gonna call for a lot more. It's gonna cause for a lot more strategy. And that's gonna be that's gonna be the thing to see. All right, add commercial break. And commercial break. All right. So we'll be a 2nd and 8 for DC when we get back. Yeah, just dealing with the injury timeout right now. Best wishes towards Cameron Kelly, who was slow to get up after the play. All right, just getting back to commercial break. Just getting back from commercial break. 2nd and 8 through 13:50 to play in the first half. As always, St. Louis knows how to show out for their Battlehawks. It's always great to see the stadium full. Like it's one of the best environments in the league. I'm hoping it stays for longer than just this season as well. Kind of thing with it. There's Mike Rapoli being interviewed. Hold on. The fact that Mike Rapoli is at this game is going to be a great sign for the future of St. Louis. Because him experiencing this environment firsthand is going to be good. Tommy and shotgun looking to throw in second and 8, and he's sacked once again. Back to the 30. Travis Feeney gets the sack. Wait, no, that's Levante Bentley actually with the sack. Name the jersey number? 50, yeah. But that's the 4th sack of the game already for St. Louis's defense. This St. Louis pass rush, it's getting home easily. They just need the offense to back it up. All right, 3rd and 14. Teamu and shotgun back to his left. And there's a timeout called by the defenders before this 3rd down play. All right, see what more Rapoli is saying. All right, 3rd and 14 for DC. Again, they're interviewing co-owner Mike Rapoli on the sideline right now during all this, making sure I'm hearing it. All right. I like all the sentiments he's saying, but we'll see as the season progresses. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on their own 30. Tiamu looking to throw. Pressure coming quick. Pass deep right side. Gonna be intercepted. There is a penalty. Gonna be tagged down around the 30. Returning this pass to 40 to the 45. What is the penalty though? Jordan Mosley gets the interception. This could go both ways. I would not be surprised no matter which way it goes. It's defensive pass interference against the Battlehawks. So another like rule adjustment they made is that it's back to the NFL style for pass interferences. It's a spot foul. So the defenders got a ton of yards off of that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, are we gonna get a challenge? We did not get a single challenge last night. They're going to challenge this. Ricky Prohl does the first super challenge of the season. Gonna challenge the DPI. Alright, what does Mike Piera have? I love that they allow us like go into under the hood with this. Uh they're aiming at the right hand here. It's gonna be an interesting one. It's just how egregious is it? Because there's a little bit of contact. Come on, Piera. The Battlehawks are gonna win the challenge. The interception stands. They nearly got an intercept. They nearly got a forced fumble earlier in this. They're gonna get this interception. It stands. Jordan Mosley stepping in for the injured Cameron Kelly gets the interception and momentum shifts St. Louis's way. And there's that with the instantly interviewing Ricky Prohl after this. Hell yeah. I love it. The super challenge is fantastic. They used it early, but I mean they win it. They get the ball. It's a good challenge. But that's a big momentum swing in this. All right, 12:46 to play in the first half. St. Louis ball around their own 30. What can this offense do? It's an offense that's been struggling, but it's struggling, but it has the signs. Silver's in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Man in motion, left to right. Silver's going to look to throw. Pressure comes quick off the left side. He's sacked. Back at the 20, it's a corner blitz off the left side by Sam Kidd. And it's a 2nd and 20 coming. That's a 2nd and 20 coming up. That's Brandon Silvers needing to realize he's hot off that left side and get the ball out. There's a reason he was unblocked. Silvers needs to get that ball out quicker. All right, Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, looking to throw once again. Has time, pass right side, going to be caught and fighting his way to the 35-yard line. It's Jacor Pearson on the grab and the 3rd and 5 coming up after the gain of 15. All right, got those yards back and then some after the sack. So 3rd and 5. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side, looking to throw once again. Has some time, pass right side is off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Blake Jackson, would have been there if it was a bit more on target, but put a little bit too much into it, and it's a 3rd 3 and out for the Battlehawks, unable to capitalize off the interception. Just unfortunate. Like they have the moments there. They have the pieces. They just can't put it together. DeAndre Baker was in coverage for the defenders. Punt comes off clean. Going to be let bounce and picked up around the 15 and just falling down right there. So great punt. It will be 1st and 10 for DC from their own 15. This was always going to be a bit more of a defensive game. And we head to commercial break. Look, the thing with St. Louis's offense is they just need to get into a rhythm on the next drive. They're trying to do too much, it feels. Just keep things simple with Brandon Silvers and then work from there. Because even though Louisville had issues last night with their offense, the best thing they did was they got Jason Bean into a rhythm. And you could see him getting better throughout the game. Yeah, I mean, maybe not score, but this St. Louis defense is gonna need to force another turnover that gets the offense started on the plus side of the field. Because right now this offense can move. It's just it's a weird thing. Again, like it's the simple thing. Like, keep things simple on the next drive. Like RPOs, run the ball, bootlegs, just make things easy for Brandon Silvers. And then you can expand from there, but you need to get him into a rhythm first. It can be as simple as that. All right, just getting back from commercial break here soon. The other thing is DC gets ball to begin the second half, so is it gonna be a bit more pressure on St. Louis here soon. All right, 1st and 10 for DC. I mean, this is the moment. You have them pinned inside their own 20. Tiamu shotgun back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Play action looking to throw, pass left side, going to be bobbled and incomplete. Looking for Ty Scott along the sideline, 2nd and 10 coming up. ESPN, come on. You can't be messing up coaches' names like that on the broadcast. You can't be showing Fred Koss and then have Shannon Harris be the name show. Tiamu shotgun back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw in 2nd and 10. Pressure coming, pass left side, going to be dropped again. Back-to-back drops along that left side for Ty Scott. And a 3rd and 10 coming up. There's still 10-15 to play in the first half. Gee. All right, under 15 seconds on the play clock. They haven't broken the huddle yet. As yeah, it is loud in St. Louis. Tiamu and shotgun. And they're going to have to call a timeout. With 9:50 to play in the half, the defenders are down to 1 timeout. Thanks to the St. Louis faithful. Thanks to the St. Louis faithful. There we go. Third and 10. All All right, 3rd and 10. Again, hitting them inside the 20 was big. Try and get the offense going a bit. Because now you make the stop here, you're gonna have a pretty solid field position on the next drive. Hopefully, thanks to a good punt return, and then you go from there. But the thing is, you need to make this stop. Jamu and shotgun back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Going to look to throw. Pressure comes quick. Teamu trying to escape, rolling right. He's brought down behind the line for a loss of 5. Looked like a designed QB keeper there that got blown up thanks to Peter Tamupenu. He was the first in there, followed up pretty quickly by Damon Harris, as well as Travis Feeney. Yeah, that play just never stood a chance. So it was a 3 and out for DC. And this is a good moment here for St. Louis. If they can get a good return off this. Paxton Brooks on to send this one away. And there is a stoppage. St. Louis will call a timeout. They're down to 1. As they had to run on a player late here in the punt unit. Don't blame them. DC has not punted much today. All right, 4th and 15. Punt. Punt's. That's not a great punt. I think it does barely come off clean. Return begins from the 50, gets down to about the 47. Thought that was blocked for a second. It was not a great punt. So St. Louis has great starting field position on this drive. Yeah, they're showing next week's slate of games. The great thing is that Stallions Gamblers game next week is on NFL Network as well as the ESPN app, so I'll actually be able to be live with that. All right, just under 9 minutes to play. Silvers and shotgun, going to hand this off up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 2 for Kevon Latulis. Man, there's the thing. You need points off of this drive. You absolutely need points here. You can't have that good starting field position and your defense playing as well as it is, only to just have 3 points entering the half. Silvers and shotgun back to his right, 2 receivers to each side, looking to throw. Dump off right side, can be caught with space. Up past the 40, past the 35, and hurdling his way to the 30. It's Kevon Latulis out the backfield. And that puts the Battlehawks into field goal range. And going to set themselves up nicely for the rest of this drive. Keeping it simple on this. Handoff first play. A simple swing route to the outside on the second play. Get a rhythm building before you really try to open up the playbook. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion right to left. Going to hand this off up the middle for Latulis once again. And it's a gain of about 2, maybe 3 after the second effort. So 2nd and roughly 7 coming up. All right, 2nd down. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. Gonna fake a double reverse. The handoff left side, it goes back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Devon Latulis on the end around carry there. So another 3rd and 7 coming up. I get the play call. I think it would have worked a lot better, obviously, if they committed to the double reverse. But oh well. I also just don't like getting tricky like that. With how they've been playing, there's no need to get tricky just yet. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well. Ball on the DC 27. Silvers to throw, pass right side for the end zone is just out of reach for Frank Darby. So a 4th down coming up. He had someone open underneath. I like taking the deep shot there. Because like he does have a step, but you have the easy first with Blake Jackson. Take what the defense gives you and keep the drive going. Yeah, like it's him going for the 50-50 when there is a 100%er right there. It's just there's no point in it. That's a difference in games sometimes. 45-yard kick from the right hash. It is up and it is well off the mark. Wide left. So they get no points off of the good starting field position. I mean, again, it's just when you have someone that wide open that like St. Louis just did, it's a tough one to miss. Especially because he's looking to that side. And he threw it to that side. So it's like, how? Come on, you really missing that? You're welcome on in. This has been a solid game so far still. I am kind of surprised at the small amount of post-play theatrics we've gotten so far. Tommy and shotgun back behind him. Gonna hand this off left side for Deion Jackson. And that's a gain of roughly 4. I've been good. Yeah, it's been a while. But it's good to be back. It's good to have some spring football here. How have you been, man? It's just good to have football back. Especially with how these games have been so far. Yeah, it's been fun. We're a game and a half into this season, and I'm gonna tell it's gonna be a lot better than last year. Jamu looking to throw on 2nd down. Pressure coming, rolling left, buying time. Gonna take it himself for a gain of roughly 3. Up to the 42-yard line. It's like obviously like people want higher scoring games, but as long as every game is competitive, the score doesn't fully matter. At least to me. Oh, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, like, like this is by far the most marketed I have seen for the UFL in quite some time, or for spring football in general. So like I'm here for it. Jamu gonna hand this off up the middle on 3rd and 2, and he's not gonna get it. Gets stuffed just short of the 1st. Deion Jackson on the carry, and we'll see what DC decides to do here. It's a 4th and 1 coming up. Yeah. Jamu and shotgun back to his right. 4th and inches. I mean, yeah, they're right there for the 1st, and you know your defense can make a stand if need be. But they're letting this clock run. Yeah, they're not going to snap it. There is the delay of game penalty, so they go 3 and out. But it was like during the NFL playoffs and during like the tail end of the NFL season, seeing actual commercials during Monday Night Football and during Fox's games of the UFL, like that was not happening last year. During the Super Bowl, there was commercials for the UFL. Like that was just not happening last year. And it's like, and all the fan fest that these teams did and getting into the cities more, like they're definitely are building more of a definitely building more of a fan bases already. Yeah, I get that. Not having the camo. Yeah. I will say that all the uniforms so far in action have still looked good. Even Birmingham's last night, I was a little bit skeptical of. They looked fine. Though when they get a home game, that's when the test will be. All right, punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 12, gets past the 15, and going to be brought down back near the 13. Trying to get it outside, not going to be able to. So they pin St. Louis deep. Yeah, that's fair. That Super Bowl was fun though. As a Dolphins fan, I always love seeing the Patriots get dominate, get beat down like that. So I was enjoying myself during it. I mean, also me because I don't have a lot else to root for as a Dolphins fan. This team is entering a whole world of unknown. Silvers in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the left as well. Shift in the back to his right, going to look to throw. Has some time, pass right side, wide open, past the 25 and down to about the 29. It is Frank Darby on the grab. Yeah. Again, it wasn't the most entertaining Super Bowl for someone who's not a fan of those teams. But for someone that I want to watch the Patriots lose whenever they can, I enjoyed it. 1st and 10. Silvers and shotgun. Quick pass left side. Can be caught by Jacquard Pearson. Fades to about the 35. I'm just that Super Bowl was far from the worst ones we have had in recent years. Super Bowl 53 was literally unwatchable. Oh yeah, that pick six was yeah, it was inevitable. Silvers and shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 2nd and 4, looking to throw. Has some time, pass deep, right side, and it's going to be bobbled and incomplete for Frank Darby. It's there. It's not a bad throw from Silvers. Just couldn't quite hang on to it. Might have been slightly tipped as well. 2.5 to go in the first half. Yeah, DeAndre Baker gets a hand on that one. Great play by DeAndre Baker. Should get another NFL opportunity. Just saying. 3rd and 4, Silvers and shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Final play before the 2-minute warning coming up. Silver's going to look to throw. DC sends pressure. Quick pass right side caught. Breaks off 1 tackle and has space. Past midfield. Past the 40. Past the 30. 25, 20. 15, 10. Still going the 5. And he is down at the 1. Gary Jennings down to the 1. There is a penalty. This might be roughing the passer. But that's the play St. Louis has needed. We'll see what this penalty is. It's roughing the passer against DC. It's going to put them half the distance to the goal. It's 1st and goal from the half-yard line. Just keep it simple. For a first-time starter, just keep it simple. Pitch and catch when you know they're sending pressure. You know you're hot there. Just get the ball out to your playmakers and let them be playmakers. Yeah. The entirety of the NFL playoffs was just me getting more and more mad about how the Patriots were getting away with having a bad offense. Until they got to the Super Bowl. That was just relieving. Alright, 64-yard pickup for Gary Jennings will bring us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be 1st and goal from the half-yard line when we get back from commercial break. I don't think there was a worse game for me specifically to watch during the playoffs than that Patriots Broncos AFC Championship game. That was legit just not fun. Because there's so many moments where it's just like come on. I never want to see Jared Stidham take an NFL snap again. All right, add commercial break. Add commercial break. Honestly, the Dolphins are going to be having a kicker competition in camp this year. I would be down for Matt McCrane joining that competition. Because he has a better leg than both Zane Gonzalez and Riley Patterson. We have St. Louis trying to at least tie the game on this drive. All right. Still at commercial break. At commercial break. Here we go. Just getting back. Some of these commercial breaks feel longer than others. I would say Ricky Prohl has done a good job in this game already. Like he is a first time head coach, but like the energy he brings to that sideline is fantastic. And like he has coaching experience. He was a receivers coach here in St. Louis not long ago. All right, first and goal. Silvers in shotgun back behind him. Handoff up the middle for Jarvion Howard. And he's going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage. Barely doesn't cross the plane. This is where like, okay, you did a handoff up the middle. Now like mix the outside a bit in. Even if it's just simple as running instead of running between center and guard, run between guard and tackle. Like it'd be that simple of a change, and you could just punch it in. Silvers and shotgun back behind him. There's the give to Howard once again up the middle, and it's gonna lose about a yard this time. Yeah, running straight up the gut's not gonna be the way to punch it in here. Though they are killing time, so it's something. Yeah, just no one blocked him on the outside. All right, 45 seconds remaining in the half. I mean, you probably are in 4-down territory here. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. There's movement up front aplenty. Silvers just goes down. Is this gonna be a sack? Yeah, they're saying it's just a sack. They timed that snap perfectly. Okay, no, there's false starts aplenty. There's movement. There's definitely a ton of early movement there. That just does not get called. And they're gonna let this clock run before taking their timeout. All right, there's the final timeout for St. Louis. So unable to punch it in from the 1-yard line. They're gonna settle for a field goal here to make it a 4-point game at the half. That's a That is a terrible 3-play call sequence. Just absolutely terrible. You go back to back up the gut runs and then just chaos. All right, the field goal try is up and it's right down the middle. That's halftime. DC leads by 4. They get the ball to begin the second half. And up next is Nelly and the St. Lunatics. We have a halftime show to deal with. That was a fun first half. But man, like that St. Louis offense should be so much better than what it is, than what it has shown. Like they should have been able to punch it in from there, and that's part of where like you wish you had Akeem Butler, because you just throw a goal line fade to him on one of those plays and you're probably in. But like man, that's just a rough sequence. All right, but that's halftime. Again, they packed out the dome nicely. Considering that there is a St. Louis Cardinals game today and a St. Louis Blues game today, they showed out. They showed out. All right, but at halftime, some of the costumes you have there are also great. I love St. Louis's fan base. It is fantastic. It's it's very it's tough to build a fan base like how St. Louis has been built, because like Michigan was getting close to it, but now like they don't have a team until at least 2028. Like the way that St. Louis has rallied behind the Battlehawks has been fantastic. Part of it is them like trying to stick one to the NFL for the Rams leaving, but it's still a very fun atmosphere, and they've embraced that team nicely. All right, so at commercial break, waiting for the halftime show. All right. Again, later today at 4 o'clock EST, the Gamblers take on the Renegades, in which should also be a fun game. It's gonna be the first time seeing the Renegades not being led by Luis Perez in a while. So that's gonna be interesting purely because of what are those teams gonna possibly look like. There's just so much has changed on Dallas's roster from last year. You really don't know what to expect from them. And then, like, how is Houston going to keep the momentum that they had last year and during the tail end of the season? How are they going to keep that into a new look roster, a new look team after the rebrand? Houston's going to be a fun test. Dallas is going to be a fun experiment. Yep. At halftime. At halftime. And DC gets the ball to begin the second half. Their offense had their offense started off really well. Kind of has cooled down since. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do after the half. St. Louis's yard combination looking like a Dolphins game from last year. 18 yards rushing after one half. Come on, man. Plus five, like, five sacks in one half is crazy. This St. Louis pass rush might be one of the best pass rushes we have seen. Like 5 sacks in one half. Jeez. And half of those are to Pita Tamupenu. Yep, at the half. All right, by the end of the halftime is when we should get the attendance numbers. All right, the halftime show going to be starting here shortly. I actually might listen to this one fully. Yeah, we get the headphones on. I don't like wearing headphones a lot when I'm live, but the UFL kind of like not forces it, but like with the amount of like access the UFL allows in terms of like audio insights, like I like having it on standby. And like certain halftime shows, I'm gonna want to listen to. Did they usually? Okay, no. It said Lou Legend. I thought it said John Legend for a second. I was gonna. Again. I mentioned this last night. I like that they're doing halftime shows or all the home openers. It's a nice touch. It's just a nice touch to like really showcase that like yeah, this league is back and it's here to stay. Because like there's a good chunk of money being thrown at these. Also, like them getting artists that are like local talent, another great touch. Uh, yeah, about the half. Uh, yeah, the second half is going to be interesting, especially offensive line wise. I mean, 8 sacks combined in one half of play is not what I was expecting from this game. It's made it a bit more entertaining, but still like not expecting that. Uh, Against the stage presence, solid. It was just at the half, the good old halftime show. Last night's halftime show felt long. I didn't time it, but it felt long. I assume Nelly and the State Lunatics are gonna handle it a bit better because they've done this before for the UFL. Also, did you got respect though? Yeah, they're just vibing out there, man. I like it. It's just a great touch for the opening for the home openers. It would be funny if the NFL was like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Week 1 halftime show. They're not going to, but maybe because too many teams for that. But like it's yeah. So the second game today's halftime show is Ty Myers. I've not heard of him. Country artist. Tomorrow for Columbus Orlando is DJ Khaled. That's the one I'm most interested to see how it plays out. Because I have no expectations for how his stage presence is gonna be. Alright, at the half, baby. Oh yeah, I guess they could also get away with doing longer halftime shows because of the constantly running clock that the halves have. Actually, just thought of that now. Yeah, because the NFL has 15-minute halftime shows for the Super Bowl and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. They probably do extend it a bit for the UFL because the clock keeps ticking. There's less clock stoppages during a drive. Yeah. Yep, at the half. Yeah, they always kill it whenever they do halftime shows. Yeah, they definitely have a longer time for these halftime shows. Which makes sense. Oh, finally we got the depth chart for this next game, for tomorrow's game. About goddamn time. Uh, you got one more song to do, maybe? We'll see. Alright. Took long enough to get the Storm Aviators depth chart. I forgot this song was Nelly, hell yeah. Wait, what? No, that can't be right. Alright, this and the docket. Of course, this happens here in the good this song. Alright, the Orlando Storm depth chart is looking interesting. First off, they have Jack Plummer or Dorian Thompson Robinson listed as a starting quarterback. Second off, they have the entire Washington Commanders running back room listed on here. God, this league. That's sure. I'm sending this over. Yeah, sure. For the most part, everything else looks fine on this. All right. Good thing this isn't the main page I use. There we go. All right, there's a halftime show wrapped up. Second half underway here soon. All right, this roster sheet's more accurate. Okay, cool. I don't know what was going on with the depth chart. Is anything wrong with Columbus's side? I know, looks good. No, Columbus's side of this depth chart's accurate. I don't know what's going on with Orlando's. Cool. All right. Second half underway here soon. I will quickly be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay. Yeah. How does a mistake like this get made on a depth chart? Come on. And I imagine this will get fixed before tomorrow night's game, but that's just funny. Second half underway here soon. Halftime show just wrapped up. This Orlando Storm team is going to be interesting. But that is to wait. We have one half left in this one. 4 p.m. EST, going to be live with the Gamblers and Renegades facing off as well. To wrap up this Saturday 2-game slate. The difference of this game so far has been that 4-point field goal that Matt McCrane hit on the opening drive of the game for the defenders from 60 yards out. That is the difference in this one. We'll see how the second half plays out. Mainly to see what the St. Louis offense can do. Because they have issues. Well, hopefully they can iron it out. As teams are taking the field, second half kickoff underway here shortly. All right. Second half underway here soon. Time will tell. Again, we'll see this DC offense first and foremost. Going an offense that I know has had its moments in this game. For the most part, has struggled a bit. But we will see what they can do in the second half. Oh, Deontay Burnett is inactive for Dallas. So is Day Hunter. God, all right, interesting inactive list for the next game. Kai Locksley's inactive for Houston. All right. All right, teams are lined up. Second half kickoff. Momentarily. And the second half from St. Louis is underway. Kick going to be returned beginning from the 5-yard line. Base out past the 20, past the 25, and brought down near the 29. So DC will start from there. Let's see what Jordan Teamu has in store. Already been sacked 5 times in this game. It's going to be an interesting second half. Well, what you got? First and 10 for DC. Teamu and shotgun back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Man in motion left to right. Teamu going to hand this off up the middle for Deion Jackson in their space. Up past the 45 to about the 46. There's a gain of 12 on first down. Going to keep the chains moving quickly. Good cut back inside as well. Good blocking to create that hole. All right, the ground game is where things can get fun here. Teamu pump faking, rolling left, trying to buy some time. Going to take it himself for a gain of a yard. There is a penalty on the play, though. Probably going to be called back due to holding. Yep, holding against DC. So push him back 10, replay first. All right. Teamu and shotgun. Play action looking to throw in first and 20. Has some time. Pass right side. Overthrown and intercepted. Out of bounds at the Battlehawk own 43. Disastrous start to the half for the defenders. It's Miles Sims with the interception, the second of the day. And just like that, St. Louis's offense is on the field quickly. Yeah, he has him open. It's just an off-target throw from Jordan Teamu. Like, it's there. It's there, but it needed to have been a near perfect throw. He put a little bit too much into it. Ty Scott couldn't adjust. And Miles Sims gets 2 feet, at least 1 foot in bounds. And this St. Louis defense, once again, forcing turnovers. Yeah, joined at just the right time. Silvers and shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, looking to throw. Quick pass right side, gonna be low and incomplete for Jacquard Pearson. Welcome back. Yeah, no, that's fair. It was a good halftime show. The last song that Nelly performed, I know I know the song, but I always forget that Nelly was the one who made it, because I have a cover of it on my liked songs list. That's more of like a, I wouldn't say heavy rock, but it's more like a rock song. So I do like it. It's just I always forget it's Nelly. Silver's in shotgun, looking to throw in second down. Has some time, dancing in the pocket. Gonna try and take it himself and gains maybe a yard. So, Bob Flash, you then missed it. We got we finally got the depth chart for tomorrow night's game. And listed as the running backs for the Orlando Storm is just the Washington Commanders running back room. Somehow this league put the wrong running backs completely on this depth chart. I don't know how that happens. 3rd and 9. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 3rd and 9. Pass left side, back shoulder, incomplete. Not the greatest of decisions there. Looking for Stephen McBride, and the Battlehawks once again cannot capitalize off of a turnover. They go 3 and out. It's not EVH that I have the cover with, but if they did do one, I'm gonna need to listen to that. Yeah, I don't know how they mess up the depth chart that badly. It's not messed up on the other chart that I use. Punt comes off clean, gonna be let bounce. Is gonna be picked up by the Battlehawks. Are they saying that's muffed? Are they saying that's a muffed punt? They're breaking the pile that formed. St. Louis has it if it is a muff. At least it looked like they did. Still no rulings, it seems. The refs are discussing this. There's no official word on what this is yet. At least no word I can tell. This is probably where it'd be a good idea to put on the headset. We're going to a commercial break. They have to discuss this. All right. Yeah, again, I don't know how Orlando and the UFL messed up the depth chart that bad. Because because we got it during halftime. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Finally, we got this depth chart because I need it for tomorrow night. I sent it to myself on Discord. I put it into the program I use to be able to zoom in and read it. And then I just see Austin Eckler's name, and I'm like, wait, what? I don't know how that happens, but it did. I imagine it will be fixed by tomorrow. If not, I have the other sheet that doesn't have the issue, which makes it even funnier that the issue is not present on the main sheet I use, but it is on the proper depth chart. This league's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make that mistake. What's even funnier is all of their running backs. Like if you look at their roster, none of their running backs played for Washington at any point during their NFL stay. They're all just like how do you mess that up? I mean, Jeremy McNicholas, I could see at some point in the future having to go to the UFL for a year before getting back to the NFL. But like Chris Rodriguez and Austin Eckler, those guys are not going to be touching this league at all, I don't think. So it's just like, how do you make that mistake? Hey, week one, everyone's messing up on week one. You just gotta give them grace. All right, just getting back from commercial break. $12:20 to go in the third quarter. Previous drive for DC resulted in an interception. We'll see how the second one goes. Like the other thing with Orlando's depth chart that's funny is they have for quarterback, they have Plummer or Thompson. They have Plummer or Thompson Robinson. So they haven't like fully made a decision on that yet, despite saying Plummer's going to be the starter. Tiamu handoff right side for Abram Smith, going to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Which I have seen the or be there before in this league. But it's still funny. All right, 2nd and 10. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Going to roll left. Trying to find someone and sacked back at the 10. The 6th sack of the game for the St. Louis defense. They went for the naked bootleg and it just did not work at all. It was blown up instantly. It was Steven Linton who got there first. Yeah, that just had no chance. It was Linton followed up by Harris. And it's a 3rd and long for DC. 3rd and 20 coming up. They keep getting themselves into this situation. And now they're going to have to call a timeout. I don't know, they're going to take the penalty. They let the play clock ran. Or they reset the play clock, that's what it was. St. Louis is getting loud. Oh no, it was delay of game. All right, so 3rd and 25 for DC. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, looking to throw. Has some time, pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for Seth Williams, a little bit low. Some confusion there between Williams and Abram Smith on who the ball was for. So the defenders go 3 and out. And the Battlehawks have a great chance field position-wise here. The question is just how do they capitalize off of it? Because this offense has been something. Paxton Brooks punting from deep in his own end zone. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from their own 44. Trying to find space, gets up past midfield. Trying to get the edge, going to be brought down at the DC 46, maybe 47. So the Battlehawks are back on the plus side of the 50, so they cannot punt on this drive. Not that I feel like they would want to at this point, considering how the offense has been playing. Yep, the NFL draft, about a month out. I will be live for pretty much all 3 days of the NFL draft. Though as the days go on, the less I'll pay attention to it. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Quick pass left side can be caught by Pearson. And it gets blown up. Going to be a loss of 2. Trying to receiver screen on that right side. It goes nowhere it goes absolutely nowhere. Blocking wasn't quite there. It was read pretty well by Garyon Connolly. So it was a 2nd and 12 coming up. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Ball on the DC 48-yard line. Man in motion left to right. Silvers looking to throw. Pressure comes quick. Dump off right side for Latulis. Has space. Pass to 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Inside the 15, the 10, and down to the 6. Kevon Latulis for a gain of 42. And it's first and goal St. Louis. Like, it's when you know they're sending pressure like that, that's the easiest just back foot throw you can make. Yet for some reason they've still been struggling to do that consistently. All right, first and goal. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. And there's a stoppage. There's a penalty down on this one. The play clock was running low. It's a false start against St. Louis. .8:32 to go in the third quarter. They get down to goal-to-go situations and they just go backwards. First and goal, this time from about the 12 or the 13-yard line. Play clock winding down once again. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Play action looking to throw. Dump off right side. Inside the 5, diving forward. He is in. Touchdown St. Louis. They take the lead for the first time today. About time they were able to punch it in. Took them long enough. It's Tyler Neville. And St. Louis has the lead just like that. About time. The amount of opportunities they've had with that. All right, they're going to just go for the extra point here. Make it a 3-point game. With 8:02 to go in the third, kick is up, and the Battlehawks lead by 3. It took them long enough to find the end zone. That's the best way to put it. But finally, they got a drive they got a drive going there. Right into a commercial break. All right. All right, that commercial break. About time a drive was there. Like, jeez. All right, now see what DC can do. Oh, hopefully this gets the game going again with some action. It does set up the potential for a 4-point field goal to take the lead by 1. And if St. Louis were to lose by a 60+ yard field goal twice in 3 years, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. That would just be something. All right. At commercial break. Okay, so again, DC has had some solid drives, but most of them were in the first quarter. Since the first quarter, they've not been having the same offensive production. They're going to need to turn it on a bit here. The big thing is just getting Te'amu some goddamn protection. Being sacked 6 times does not feel good no matter how quickly they come. But the fact that he's been sacked 6 times in less than 2.5 quarters is insane. We will see. All right, just getting back from commercial break. I love the insight. They have AJ Smith on the sideline with the tablet breaking down the play that just got the touchdown for them. Just a nice touch to things. All right, kickoff on the way here soon. All right, kickoff going to be returned up past the 30 to about the 32. DC will start from there. Not necessarily needing a drive. Like, this isn't a touch. They got to have a touchdown drive, but they need points. They've gone too long in this game without points, without a solid drive. So I would expect them to go for something here. But we will see. Te'amu and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side looking to throw. Quick pass right side. Wide open is Ty Scott for a gain of 6. That's a good way to start things. Te'amu going to hand this off up the middle. Deion Jackson finding space and spinning his way for a gain of 3. Yeah, like obviously you have some of the coordinators that are in the booth, so you can't really talk to them properly. But the ones that are on the sideline, the fact that they're willing to give the insight, it's great. Te'amu gonna keep it himself left side on the read option, picks up the first and slides down for a gain of 5. And it's one of those things where, the NFL would never do that. The coaches just would not allow it. But it is a fun thing that the UFL does differently that is very welcomed. Pressure comes quick and Te'amu is sacked. Back at the 40. The corner blitz off the left side is unblocked. And Sean Fresh makes it number 7 for this St. Louis defense. Just Te'amu doesn't stand a chance. Yeah. 7 sacks in one game. To begin the season, it's Te'amu and shotgun back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. All on their own 40. Te'amu gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's a gain of about 2 or 3. Hey, hopefully it is lucky for St. Louis. Because, man, it does not feel lucky for DC right now. Third and long. 3rd and 14 for DC. Te'amu and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. They need a St. Louis 44. Te'amu looking to throw. Stepping up. Pass over the middle is caught. Inside the 40 to the 39. There's your first down pickup. It's Seth Williams on the grab. And they're going to go hurry up. See, when you give Te'amu a pocket, he can make plays. Te'amu keeps it himself. 1st and 10. Pass deep right side. Going to be incomplete. Nearly a grade 1-handed interception. Yeah, but again, like, and NFL coaches are not going to allow stuff like that to get out there. It sucks, but at the same time, I get why. The more so like transparency thing I want the NFL to take from the UFL is with replays and with penalties being called. Being able to listen into the refs discussing a penalty is much needed. Tiamu keeps it himself left side on the read option and going to get about 2. So it's a 3rd and 8 from about the 36 coming up. There's training camp footage of Gruden like calling plays, and it is so funny to watch the quarterback be confused. Tiamu in shotgun, back to his left, gonna play action and look to throw on 3rd and 8. Has some time, dump off right side, it's caught, but not gonna get much with it. Stuffed at the line for no gain. This St. Louis defense makes a stand. Like I could only imagine, like because the coaches are mic'd up, but obviously they don't show when they're calling plays. Getting the footage of Mike McDaniel play calling at all the past 3 years would be perfect examples as to why the Dolphins have struggled. All right, Matt McCrane on for the 55-yard field goal from the right hash to tie this game up at 3. Kick is up. It is on line, and he doinks it. No good. It looked on line for a majority of that, but barely. It doinks off the left upright. St. Louis maintains the lead. That looked good for 99% of that kick. Yeah, that's on line for the majority of that. Right at the end, it curls left. Yeah, where he's in Tampa and Chris Sims is his quarterback. That's always a fun one that gets brought up occasionally. All right, Silver's in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the right, ball on their own 45. Silver's looking to throw, pressure comes quick, dump off left side for Jarvion Howard, and that's a gain of 3, maybe 4. 3:25 to go in the third. Like, I mean, those clips also perfectly showcase the difference between the starters and the backups in the league. All right, 2nd and 7. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well. Handoff up the middle for Howard. Gonna get past midfield to the DC 48. So a 3rd and medium coming up. St. Louis, having passed midfield, cannot punt on this drive. So they have entered 4 down territory, basically. Silver's alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw on 3rd and 3. Has time. Pass over the middle is caught for the first. Up to the 43-yard line. Keeping the chains moving. Do not get a jersey. I believe that's James Bostic on the grab. Good throw from Silvers. Put it to where only his guy can get it. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Shift in the back to his right now as well. They give to Latulis up the middle. Going to get about... fights past the 40 maybe. Depends if they call forward progress stopped. They did at the 41, so it's a gain of 2. All right. A minute 20 to go in the third. Silver's alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Going to look to throw. Has time. Pass right side. It's going to be caught, but gets hit quickly after around the 35. It's Blake Jackson on the reception. Another 3rd and short coming up for St. Louis. All right. Third and 2. 40 seconds to play in the third. Potentially the final play of the quarter. Silvers in shotgun. 2 backs lined up to his right. Going to look to throw. Dump off right side. Caught by Latulis. Going to fight his way, but not going to be enough for the first. Brought down after only a gain of roughly a yard. So they can let this clock run before making a decision here. It's either a field goal or they go for it. They can't punt. They're lining up. Silvers in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Trying to get some movement up front. They're not going to be able to. That's it. The end of the third quarter. 15 minutes remain. St. Louis up by 3. The rivalry renewed. Someone has to win this one. We'll find out. We'll find out after 15 more minutes. Solid game so far. Defensive heavy, but solid game. As we head to commercial break. Again, by the way, 7 sacks in 3 quarters of play. Yeah, you're not going to find a lot of offensive success letting that happen. But yep, at commercial break. $15 minutes remain. And then we'll be live at 4 p.m. EST as well for the Gamblers and Renegades to wrap up this Saturday. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST it's the Aviators and the Storm, 2 brand new teams going at it in week 1. That should be a fun game. But time will tell. At commercial break. At commercial break. All right, 15 minutes remain. Waiting for the start of the fourth quarter. It's a 4th and 1 for St. Louis. Well into the plus side of the field. See what they decide to do here. I imagine you just send out the field goal unit. Your defense has been playing fantastic since the first quarter. Get a 6-point lead. Make it so DC needs a touchdown and just go from there. Not really a point in risking keeping it a 3-point game. All right, just getting back from commercial break. 4th and 1 for St. Louis. What you got? What's the choice? Looks like they're keeping the offense on the field for 4th and 1. All right, so they're going for it. Silvers in shotgun, back behind him. Now the back to his left. 4th and 1 from the DC 34. Tight end in motion left to right. They give this to Jarvion Howard up the middle. He breaks through for the first. Gets inside the 25 and fighting his way down inside the 20. Maybe gets the 19. Either way, it's a first down pickup for St. Louis. They keep the drive alive. Gutsy play call, but it works to perfection. You get exactly the blocking up front you want. And allow Jarvion Howard, who's more so the power back between him and Kevon Latulis. Allow him to just try and allow him to just only have to make one man miss. He did just that. First and 10, Silvers in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left. Man in motion, left to right, to give back to Howard up the middle. Gonna fight his way inside the 15 to about the 13, so gain of roughly 7. As there is a DC player slow to get up, there's also a penalty marker down. So we'll see what this is. I imagine is Holden against St. Louis. Oh no, it's unnecessary roughness against DC. So half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down. So it'll be first and goal for the Battlehawks. Looking to extend this lead. Where are they saying is... Oh, there it is. Good acting by Tyler Neville. It's called against Derek Roberson. So first and goal. Silvers under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Ball on the 7-yard line. Handoff up the middle for Jarvion Howard. Gonna work his way to the 5. Second and goal. Silvers in shotgun, back to his left. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Howard. No, that's not Howard. Hand this off up the middle for a gain of roughly 3. It is Raja Harris on the carry this time. Third and goal. Or they can be able to punch it in. Just under 13 minutes to play in the game. Getting 6 here will be big. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Trying to hand this off to Harris once again, and he loses about 3 this time. Nothing going there. Brandon Smith into the backfield. And once again, this Battlehawks offense stalls out in the red zone. It's Smith and it's Roberson instantly into the backfield. Just that place stood no chance. So out comes the field goal unit to make it a 6-point game in the 4th. "23-yard kick, it is up and it's right down the middle. All right, time for DC's offense to finally get out this rut that they're in. Oh, Kachuk has 2 tonight? Hell yeah. What was the first one looking like? The DC has 3 sacks on Silvers. Compared to the Battlehawks having 7 on Jordan Teamu. It's St. Louis's offensive line has been playing really well tonight. No, it's not bad at all. Especially when one of those sacks was just a busted play. it's whatever. As we're at commercial break. All right. At commercial break. All right. Again, down by 6. DC's gonna need a drive at this point. Their offense has just been sluggish, which isn't. I mean, again, kind of makes sense. The main weapon of this offense last year was Chris Rowland. He's now in Orlando. We'll see him tomorrow night. But like you need someone to step up. Mainly the offensive line, but you need a receiver to step up. And I'm looking at Seth Williams, looking at Cornell Powell and Kiki QT. Williams has been a surprise so far today with what he's been able to do. Cornell Powell and Kiki QT have been silent. So I'm expecting one of them to do something. Just under 12 minutes to play in the game. Kickoff teams entering the field. See what DC can do. No matter what they find, no matter what they want to do, they're gonna have to do it through a very loud St. Louis fan base. Kickoff underway, gonna be returned beginning from the 3. Face out past the 15, past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, 35, past the 40, and fighting his way to about the 43. There is a penalty down. I don't know, but that halftime show is definitely put some energy into the St. Louis team. It's been a completely different team from one half to the next. Holden against DC is the call. I'm going to start this drive back up a bit. Yeah, maybe. All right, 1st and 10. What does Jordan Teamu have in store? 6 straight scoreless drives since the touchdown earlier. Ball on their own 20. Teamu and shotgun, gonna hand this off up the middle for Deion Jackson. That's a gain of roughly 4. Not bad start to things. I would imagine they want to go up tempo a bit, try and get the Battlehawks, try and catch them sleeping. Teamu and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Handoff up the middle once again for Jackson, gonna fight his way for another gain of roughly 4. Yeah, especially get this win, party all night long. This would be a massive win for y'all. Third and 2 for DC. Teamu and shotgun, gonna hand this off up the middle for Deion Jackson once again. And I think he's just short. Yeah, they're gonna mark him just short. 3 straight 3 straight up the middle carries. Don't like it. Let's see, when does... Yeah, he's going to be short. So 4th and inches. What does DC decide to do here? They're punting it away. They go 3 and out. Not the drive they needed at all. That's a bad drive to have. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 32. Gets up to about the 35. That is just... all right. Yeah, but now it's down to the defense. As long as you hold them to a field goal at best, you're still very much in this game. But first, the commercial break. All right. So at commercial break. All right. DC's offense should be able to move the ball so much better. Part of it is the sacks, and they're probably are over adjusted to what St. Louis's defense has been able to do against them, but still, it's like 3 straight halfback dives is how you respond. Like, come on, you have to do more than that. You have to try something more than that. It's a better way to put it. All right, at commercial break. At commercial break. Should be coming out of it here soon. Yep, here we go. Just coming out of commercial break. What does this St. Louis offense have in store? A chance to really put this game away. All they're going to need to do is just find the end zone again. Or even again, get a field goal. Making it a 9 to 10 point game. Yeah. A 9-point game is still one possession, but if they can get that 4-point field goal, make it a 2-possession lead. That's gonna be the goal. But 1st and 10, 9:54 to play in the game. They're gonna have ball on their own 35-ish yard line. Yeah, the last 4 drives, this entire second half for St. Louis has just been night and day different. Silver's in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on their own 35. Silver's looking to throw. Quick pass left side, gonna be dropped. Gary Jennings, he has the blockers for that receiver screen. Just couldn't hang on to it. 2nd and 10 coming up. That's a big play that just got completely tarnished. It's so there. But again, that's only the 3rd drop of the game for these receivers, so you'll take it. Silver's in shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd down. Pressure comes quick. Dump off right side. Halfback screen for Jarvion Howard. Gonna fall his way to about the 44.5-yard line. Gonna be just shy of the first. It's a 3rd and inches. Like legit, probably like a 3rd and 5 inches. Nine minutes to go. Silver's under center. Back behind him. QB sneak gonna be enough for the first. Gets about a yard on the play. All right, again, just keep the clock rolling. Keep the chains moving. All you gotta do. All right, Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. To give to Howard right side. Breaks off one defender, but going to be swarmed by 3 others. Stuffed at the line for no gain. 8 minutes to go in this one. Shannon Harris ain't happy about something. Silver's in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw in second and 10. Pass deep, right side, gonna be incomplete. Going back shoulder. Just couldn't connect. Probably could have been DPI there. But instead, it's incomplete. Looking for Stephen McBride along that right side. Was Shannon Harris upset about the QB sneak? Was he thinking it was technically a touch push? Wait, that's actually a great play design for a QB sneak that behaves like a tush push. They had the 2 tackles delay and pull inside to replace the tight ends you would typically have there. So it's not a tush push, it's still just a QB sneak, but it behaves like a tush push. As the defenders call their first timeout. That's a nice play design. AJ Smith continues to do it. All right, 3rd and 10. Seven minutes to play in the game. Ball on their own 47. So they could still punt at this moment. But if they get 4 yards, it's out the picture. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. And now another stoppage in here. What's this going to be? Is St. Louis calling timeout? Oh, they wanted to challenge, but they don't have it anymore. Yeah, that's what it was. Ricky Prohl wanted to challenge the no DPI call on the 2nd down play, but you only get 1 super challenge per game, and they used it in the 2nd quarter, in the 1st quarter for the interception. He thought it was 1 per half, or you could get it back at the half, but no. They probably would have won that as well, but they just didn't have the challenge. Silvers in shotgun, back to his left. Pass right side is tipped at the line and incomplete. Looking for Stephen McBride. The defender's defense gets off the field on 3rd and 10, and the Battlehawks will punt. So DC still very much in this game. As St. Louis will punt this one away. Just pushing them back some. Yeah, face mask against the defenders. All right. All right. A little bit of internet hiccup there. Should be good now. Tiamu alone in shotgun, ball on their own 4-yard line, looking to throw. Stepping up, gonna take it himself for a gain of roughly 2. All right, so 2nd and 8 coming up. They're showing highlights of when Ricky Prohl was a receiver for the Rams. The game-winning touchdown against Tampa in '99. Hell yeah. At 6:20 to play in the game. 2nd and 8 coming up. As there is a DC player down after that. One of their linemen. They're already dealing with lineman injuries, man. You can't have more. They're already dealing with poor lineman play. It's their center. Slow to get up afterwards. Their O-line already has not been playing well today. You do not need more shake-up with it. And yeah, he got rolled up on during the play. So 2nd and 8 for DC. He's able to get up off the field under his own power. It's great to see. 6:20 to go in the game. Should be in for a good finish. Tiamu and shotgun, back behind him, a tight end to each side in the backfield. Play action looking to throw. Tiamu with some time. Trying to step up, rolling left, breaks off 1 sack, makes another guy somewhat miss. Gonna fall forward for another gain of 2. So 3rd and 6 coming up. So 3rd and 6. Tiamu and shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. They had to run a receiver on the field late. Tiamu looking to throw, rolling right. There's a penalty, and this play is going to be whistled dead. Probably a timeout for DC. No, just delay of game for DC. All right. So going to be, what, 3rd and 11-ish? All right, they're back to a 3rd and 10. As the dome is getting loud. 5:22 to go in the game. Tiamu and shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Rolling right, looking to throw. Pressure coming. Tiamu, pass right side. This is going to be a throwaway. Incomplete. In the vicinity of Ty Scott. But it's another 3 and out for this DC offense that just can't find a rhythm today. I mean, like, Ty Scott's open there. It's not by a lot, though. They just can't find a rhythm. So they'll punt this one away. Gonna need that defense one final time to give them a chance. The punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 48. Space up past the 45, past the 40, down to about the 35. There is a penalty, though. What is the penalty? They picked up the penalty. First down, St. Louis. All right. So they're going to have great starting field position, a chance to extend this lead as long as they don't turn the ball over. The question is, will it remain a one-score game or be turned into a two-score game? We shall see. 4:36 to go in this game. Ball on the DC 36-yard line. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Man in motion, left to right. Silvers going to hand this off left side. Breaks off one defender in the backfield and going to work his way to the 30. All right, and the clock will begin to roll. It's Kevon Latulis on the carry. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion, left to right. 2nd and 4 coming up. Silver's going to hand this off left side for Latulis once again. Breaks off a defender in the backfield and going to fall forward for a gain of roughly a yard. Something out of nothing. He was met about 4 yards in the backfield and still managed to get a yard on that. So it's something. 3.5 to go in the game. Big time 3rd and 2. They gave him 2 on that, all right. Big time 3rd and 2. Silvers in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. And the Battlehawks will call a timeout as they're not going to get that snap off in time with 3:16 to play in the game. All right, add commercial break. Not commercial break, yeah. Timeout. It's going good. It's a different feeling game from last night. Last night the offenses were able to move down the field. They just couldn't finish drives because they didn't have kickers to do it. This game is just defenses aplenty are making stands before midfield. So there's more punts. So it's feeling more like a traditional football game. Silvers and shotgun going to hand this off up the middle for Latulis. That'll be enough for the first gain of 3. Because the thing with last night is both offenses were moving the ball decently well. Their kickers just don't have the leg that you would want them to have. DC has not gotten past midfield, I think, since the first quarter of this game. They might have gotten it past it once in the second quarter, but they have been sluggish offensively. And it took St. Louis about 2.5 quarters to get their offense into a rhythm. Silver's handoff left side for Jarvion Howard. Has space inside the 20 and hurdling his way inside the 15 to the 13. Another first down pickup for St. Louis. Jarvion Howard. Finally, like a really solid carry from him. Gonna need one more play before the 2-minute warning. But also, like, that kind of game is what I expected out of this in a way, was to be a more defensive, solid, more defensive sound one. Because these two teams know each other so well. Well, I was kind of hoping with that you get a bit more bad blood between them because they are big time rivals. But there's not been a lot of post play theatrics in this. Silver's handoff up the middle, going to be a gain of a yard, maybe two. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. A minute 57 to play from St. Louis. We go to a commercial break for the 2-minute warning, and I'll quickly be right back. All right. No. Nelly killed it like he always does with these. This isn't his first rodeo with UFL halftime shows. He killed it. I also like how he saved some of his like better songs towards the end of it. It was nice. Yeah, he crushed it. He crushed it so well. He revived this Battlehawks offense. Because since halftime, they've been a much better offense to watch. Yeah, and in about an hour, you have the Gamblers taking on the Renegades. I'll be live for that one as well at 4 p.m. EST. This game has a minute 57 remaining in it. Probably will go for, I don't know, with DC having 2 timeouts, this game could probably last a bit. He was ruled out pretty quickly. We probably won't know any solid updates for a little bit. Yeah, I got sick TV friendly, sadly. Yeah, I expect Isaiah Winstead to maybe miss a week or so, but I think he'll be back before the end of the season. But time will tell. Yeah, the St. Louis defense, 7 sacks in this game, most in team history. That's a big reason why DC has been bad offensively in this game. All right, 2nd and 8 for St. Louis. Trying to put this game on ice, but they're going to need a touchdown to do so. A field goal keeps it a 1-score game. Second and 8, minute 57 to go. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. The give up the middle for Kaval Latulis is going to lose about 2 or 3. Absolutely nowhere to go on that. There is a penalty, though. And there is the post-play theatrics. It took long enough, but we're getting some of them. I expected that to be like a throughout the game type of thing. They're probably saving it for the second meeting. Offsides against DC is the call. Gonna be a 2nd and 3 coming up, and that might as well have just put the icing on the cake, it feels. If St. Louis can't get 3 yards in 2 plays, I mean, what are we doing? All right, 2nd and 3 coming up. 1:52 to go. Was there a stoppage there? The defense is huddling up towards the sideline. Blake Williams is talking to him. Because it's a new system that they're running with, and it's a new system they're running with, and this is Brandon Silver's first start in the league, so he needed to find a rhythm. He did eventually, but it took a while. There were some drops happening early. The ground game was was struggling early. It took time for them to find what their offense is going to be. Handoff up the middle on 2nd and 3, going to be a gain of roughly a yard. Like the first drive ended because they had 2 drops. At the end of the first half, they had 18 rushing yards. It was just a slow start. And that's going to happen when you don't have preseason games. You're going to have slow starts for teams that need to bring in a new system and bring in new talent. And are bringing in a ton of new talent. As DC calls their 2nd timeout. I believe. Is that their 2nd or 3rd? ESPN shows they don't have any remaining. I gotta double check this. That was their 3rd timeout. Okay. So 3rd down. DC has none remaining. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well, and they get movement up front. Bryce Thompson trying to jump the snap. And if this is going to be offsides against DC, half the distance to the goal, 1st down St. Louis. And that will do it. All they have to do is kneel the ball down and run the clock. They don't even need to run another real play. They got him to jump. So it's 1st and goal, but again, with no timeouts remaining for DC. There's not much they can do. There's the victory formation for Brandon Silvers. In the home opener. And there's some pushing and shoving. The key thing is, though, if there's going to be another penalty here, it cannot be against St. Louis. That would stop the clock. I don't think there's going to be, though. There's the first kneel down. I'm going to need a few more. But DC, the reigning champs, fall on the opening weekend, similar to Birmingham last year. Or similar to Birmingham and I think Birmingham last year lost on week 1. Might have been week 2. There's a 2nd kneel down. Gonna need 1 more. But the defending champs, they have a lot to work on. They have a lot to work on offensively. Their defense picked up right where they left off. Like the defense played really well. They were in control of this game through 95% of it. The defense, I'm not worried about. The offense is going to be some questions surrounding it. It's just they need to figure things out offensively. But there's the final kneel down. St. Louis Battlehawks get a big win on the opening week. Now there's a penalty. What's the penalty? Refs are discussing. Neutral zone infraction against DC. Half the distance to the goal, replay third. Right. Gonna need to kneel it down once more. Oh, the clock's running. Still, big win for St. Louis. And getting wins like this at home is what's going to be big for them. Because when it comes to home field environments and home field advantage, it's going to be very tough to find a better one in the league than what St. Louis has here at the Dome. As there's the final kneel down, and there's some pushing and shoving. But Ricky Prohl gets his first win as a head coach in the UFL. The Battlehawks have now won 11 of 12 home games dating back to last season. That one loss being in the Conference Championship game last year. But a good win for St. Louis to start the year, keeping that home field advantage alive. DC, they have questions that need to be answered beginning next week. Simple as that. They have a bunch of questions surrounding them. We'll see if none bigger than that offense that they have. The offense was rough in this. They showed some. The first quarter was a really good quarter for DC. They just couldn't quite punch it in. DC will play Columbus next week on Friday, and then St. Louis will have to wait till Tuesday before playing the Renegades in week 2. So they're gonna have an extra long rest. But appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, in roughly an hour, I'll be back live for the Gamblers and the Renegades. The second of 2 games on today's slate. UFL Week 1 continues. Hope to see you all there. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. I'm going to go ahead and schedule that next stream now. See you all then. Peace.